Hey guys, and welcome back to another exciting video. Today we're going to talk about fluorescent lighting. We're in a commercial basement in an office building, and we're going to reinstall a couple of old light fixtures. We're going to show you how we do that. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the video, and also a disclaimer, make sure you never do your own electrical work and consult your own licensed local electrician. That being said, this room that we're in is probably about 12 by maybe 16. So what we have to do is make sure we're going to put the light fixtures up straight. That's one of the biggest things we have to do. So first of all, we'll get our measuring tape and our marker. And we can tell a little bit on the ceiling here before, from where the wire was hanging, as to where the light fixture was. So I'm going to take a measurement off the wire from the wall, and I'm actually going to get a measurement of 3 feet. Get it straight here. So yeah, I'd say actually that fixture is probably 7 inches wide, so we should probably go 37. So right here, 37, I'm going to put a little mark, just so I know where I'm going with my light fixture. And then also down here, 4 feet roughly, because the fixtures are they're 4 feet long, so we don't want to get too far out of sorts. I can already see these. I'm just showing you guys for purposes of the video. 37, and then we'll go another 37, and then one more. And we've already got strapping behind this drywall, so we can just go ahead and screw it right up to the drywall. So the next step would be to shut the switch off. In this case, the power, for obvious reasons, because you don't want to electrocute yourself. Or sorry, we don't want to electrocute ourselves. Forgive the light in this room, obviously, because we're putting lights up. It's going to be a little dark in here. So we're going to cut this old temporary light off. Set that out of the way. And just where we're dealing with old wiring. No. I'm going to put some electrical tape on it. Oh, there's some. Just going to tape my ends up just to be sure in case somebody flicks the switch on while we're working at it. Really, we should shut the breaker off, but this is an office building, so it's kind of hard to shut the power off when they're upstairs working in the offices. We don't want to kill computers. They don't like that. So we'll get that straightened out and sorted around. Now I'm going to try to put these fixtures up without the aid of my cameraman. So we'll see what we can do here. Get some screws to get the light fixture started. So you want to come up here closer, Nick. We'll show in the back of the light that there's a 1/2 inch knockout, and then up here in the ceiling there's also a connector where it's going to go into the knockout. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the fluorescent light through the knockout, and this is actually called a fluorescent wrap, so it would mount directly on the ceiling on the surface. So we'll get our wires through, put it back up into place, put the connector in, and then line our holes up on the ceiling. So we're just going to try to get it as straight as we possibly can. Forgive me for showing my belly. I showed my butt in the last video, so no harm, no foul, right? So we're going to eye this up as much as we can, get it sort of where it needs to be, and put some screws in it. And our trusty Red Robbie screwdriver. Just enough to get it started. These lights are 120 volt T8 ballast, 2 so they're relatively an easy to install light. And these are typical in office buildings. You see them a lot, especially in reception areas, stuff like that. Making sure that it's lined up. It's awful cold up here in Canada today. That's where we're from. Middle of December, just before Christmas. We've had a decent fall, but last couple days here it's dropped down past freezing, so not a lot of fun. Actually expecting snow sometime soon. So I've got the fixture started. Now I'm going to take my impact gun and finish up. There's a couple more screws in it. Just to make sure it's going to hold up. Good thing about these light fixtures, you don't really need an octagon box or a box up in the ceiling, because the fixture itself is the box. So you can go ahead and do the connections right up inside the fixture. Okay, so we'll pause the video there, Nick. Okay, so obviously we had to stop the video there for a minute so my cameraman could help me put this other fixture up, because I couldn't do it myself. So basically we put a connector between the two light fixtures, and then we've screwed this other one up. Now on each ballast, this is actually called a ballast, a T8 ballast, electronic. There's a ground, there's a white and the black. Never mind the other wires, because those are for the tubes, and it just gets too confusing trying to explain that to you. So what we've done is we've taken a set of two wires, white and black, which is the 120, and we've run through the light fixture, and I have them here in my hand. So this is what we brought into the light fixture, and then this is the other ballast. So we've already done the grounds up here. So the key is you want to keep this to the middle of the fixture as much as possible and make it as neat and tidy as possible, so that you don't run into issues with shorting when you go to put the covers on. So what we're going to do now is we're going to strip the end of our wires, get them ready to mark together, and we're going to strip our ballast, which is being difficult, even with a pair of strippers. Some of these old wires, boys, they just, there we go, they just don't want to come apart. And then of course, our wires coming from the switch. So what we always do first is our process of elimination. So I'll take my linesman pliers, and we're going to stick our whites together, twist them in a clockwise motion. I apologize for the low light level. We have the light on the camera, but obviously, since we're putting light fixtures up, we can't really light it. So just hang with for a second, and then we'll get the lights on, which is actually what we're doing. So we've got that one done. We're going to put our Marriott on our connection, wherever we laid the Marriott. So handy cameraman's got one. Perfect. So that gets twisted on there clockwise. And then we're going to do the blacks up, which is the power wire. A lot of people don't know that about AC electricity. The power wire is actually the black. It's not like in automotive where black is ground. It's completely different, to be honest with you. Here comes the first on-site van. So yeah, we're going to do our blacks up, which is going to give us power from our switch. Then we're going to put the ballast on there as well. And we're at that together. And another Marriott from the handy cameraman. No, he doesn't have any this time? Thought we had some in here. Ah, there's one from the handy cameraman. Sorry guys, I'm making you a little sick there. All right, now the key to this is obviously we have these wires hanging, so we're gonna have to put them up into place, tidy them up, and get them, we usually wrap them around one another to get them into place so we can put our covers on. So when you put your covers on, or when we put our covers on, we need to be careful that we don't pinch off any of the wire. So what we usually do is slide it around a little bit so it gets in place, put one side up and then the other, make sure nothing's touching. And then just click up and holding just as so. So that's one cover, and then we'll put our other cover on. These lights have no lenses, so we don't really need to worry about that. Just gonna get them up into place. So one side in, and then you can see if you have a few wires sticking out here, they need to be tucked up in there good. It's important not to have things like this hanging out, because that will cause it to short out. So there's our two covers on. Now we need to get some bulbs. So I'll just grab some bulbs here real quick. See if we can't get some light turned on. So these are also T8 bulbs, 32 watt, handy little rigs. You want to hold those there, Mr. Cameraman? Perfect. And these are pin bulbs, so they need to go up in, straight up in, and then twist. So sometimes they're a bit difficult to get in place. You have to fiddle with them a little bit, like this one. But we always end up getting them. And then we turn them clockwise till they snap in place. There's one. Take another one from Mr. Cameraman. That's what I'm gonna start calling you, Mr. Cameraman. And there's the second one. Get that up into place. Click him in. There we go. Boy, that one's tight. There we go. And then a third one. Thank you, Mr. Cameraman. We're starting to get away from these now. Newer lights are just LED strips. So these older lights are becoming a thing of the past, but we thought we'd show you because it's all part of the job. Now we should be able to flip our switch on and make sparks fly. Oh no, one bulb's not too great, but sparks didn't fly. I was hoping for sparks. Anyway, our lights are on. Obviously there's an old bulb there that has to be replaced, but it lit up the room, which is what we wanted. So yeah, thanks for watching. And that's how you put up old style commercial light fixtures. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video. You can cut her off.